Okay, so just relax and have fun. Okay, and just tell me what you know. There we go. 1 minute. Okay, can you see the lesson?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, I don't know why it's not moving up. There we go. Perfect. So this is a speaking evaluation. It's only so that you can see how much you know and how much you've learned, and you can also learn something while you're doing this lesson. So it's also to teach you at the same time. So you're going to be seeing what you know and what you remember, and you're going to be learning some new things at the same time. Do you understand that, Rara? You understand what's happening?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I do.
Great. Excellent. Okay. Present perfect and present perfect. Sorry, it's just the present perfect. My bad. Present perfect. What can you remember about the present perfect?
Present perfect is used to talk about past events and they have a connection with the present. For example, news or life experience. We can also use the present perfect to talk about the situation started in the past and which are still true now.
Can I ask you a question, Rara? I want to ask you a question. Are you sure you are an English student and not a teacher? Because you speak very well. That was very good. I'm very impressed with that answer. Okay, so this is the definition. Like you said, present perfect is used to talk about an action that happened in the past, but is still continuing at the present. You were right. Okay, so for this next section that we're going to look at now, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to use the picture of the places to create a question using the present perfect. So that can be something like, have you ever uh, gone riding in France on a bicycle? Have you ever? So you're going to be using that kind of language, and I want you to use the picture and create the questions using present perfect. Do you understand?
Yes, understand.
Great. You're very clever. Okay. So any sentence, any question about Singapore using the present perfect. It's
Have
okay,
you
don't take your time. Yeah. Have you?
have you ever been to Singapore?
Okay, have you ever been to Singapore? The answer is yes, I have. I actually landed in Singapore airport when I went and lived in Malaysia. Did you know that I lived in Malaysia for a year?
No,
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
Okay, do you not have you ever heard of Kuantan Airport? Do you know Kuantan in Malaysia? Do you know that area?
No, no, I don't.
Okay, how about 1 second, the main Malaysian airline? Kuala Lumpur. Do you know Kuala Lumpur?
Yes.
Okay, so on the way to Kuala Lumpur to stay in Malaysia, I landed in Singapore. Have you ever been to Singapore, Rara?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Would you to go there one day?
Yes, I will.
Okay. What would you like to do in Singapore?
I like the country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go exploring.
Yeah, go explore.
Yeah, exploring.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Present perfect question about Bali.
Okay. Where have you been on holiday during your life?
Okay. Where have you been on holiday during your life? Okay, good question. Good question. So I'll answer the question first. I have actually been to a lot of places on holiday during my life. I have been to Australia. I have been to Mozambique, which is in Africa. I've been to Zimbabwe, which is also in Africa. These are African countries. Then I have also been to Bali in Indonesia on holiday. So I've gone to different countries on holiday. Where have you been on holiday during your life, Rara?
I'm going to. I have been going. I have got to Pekanbaru.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at that, shall we? Okay. So is this the place you went to?
Yes.
This one here? Oh, okay. So you've gone traveling, you've gone on holiday within your area. Okay. So your answer would be something like this. I have gone on holiday. Have you can you ask her this, Fitri? Has most of her holidays been in her area? Do you want me to write down? Okay, I'll write down her answer and then my answer. I have gone on holiday in my area a lot. I have gone on holiday within my area. Okay, and then my answer would be I have been on many holidays, both within my area and yeah, I'm going to explain these two answers first. Okay, so here is your answer, Rara, which says, what does this say? Where have you been on holiday during your life? What did you say here?
I have gone on many holidays within my area a lot.
Okay, so I just realized something. We don't need to have that a lot because you said many. Sorry, my computer's just freezing. There we go. Come on. There we go. Sorry, my computer's just freezing at the moment. There we go. I have gone on many holidays within my area. Okay, can you say it for me one more time? I have gone.
I have gone on many holidays within my area.
Okay, excellent. See, that sounds much better because it's better English. Well done. That's how we would usually say something like that. And then my answer, which we will make in red. And the reason why I'm giving you my answer is if you want to use some of the words if you ever get asked this question. So I said, I have been on many holidays, both within. Within means inside my country. So in other words, it means I did not leave my country. Within my area and internationally. What does internationally mean? Do you know?
International.
Internationally.
I don't know.
Okay, so as soon as you leave your country, Bali, and you go to another big part of the land and you go over the sea, we call this international. Like Bali to Africa, Bali to USA, Indonesia to France. Okay. As soon as you go to another, do you know what another name for? One second. just going to get a picture. I've got something to teach you quickly. Okay. Just getting a picture for you. Okay. Can you see this world map? Can you see the map?
Yes.
Okay. So I live here. Okay. This is where I live. Okay. And if I travel inside here, okay, this is within my country. You see, this is my country. Okay. As soon as I travel somewhere else, like to Australia or Brazil or Canada or anywhere outside of Africa, this is called traveling internationally.
Secara internasional.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yes, understand.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let me just give you a little, I'm just going to give you a reminder there. Internationally. Traveling internationally. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to draw a whole lot of arrows. Okay. So it's anywhere outside of your country where you live is called traveling internationally. Okay, good. Okay, present perfect question. Now we've got an activity and the country. So can you make a present perfect question with these two pictures? It can be anything. It's doing something and it's the country. Have you
been to Malaysia?
Okay, have I, because remember you're gonna talk about doing something in Malaysia. So have you ever,
Have you ever been to Malaysia?
okay, it's an activity. Can you think of an activity?
Have you ever traveled to Malaysia and Singapore?
Traveled to Malaysia and Singapore. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I traveled to Malaysia and I lived there for a year. It was very, very nice. Okay, very, very nice. Have you ever gone traveling within Singapore or inside Singapore?
No, I haven't.
Okay. No, you haven't. Okay, good. Which countries have been in the news a lot this month and why?
Russia and Ukraine have been in the news this month.
Okay, Russia and Ukraine have been in the news this because why?
Because they have been in war.
Okay, so this one's you very, very close. Okay, it's not in war, they have been at war. Yeah. Or you can say they have been at war with each other. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Russia and Ukraine. Okay. Which countries have been in the news a lot and why?
Russia and Ukraine have been in the news this month. They have been at war with each other.
Okay, so remember the because whenever someone asks you a question and you see this and why, you see that there at the end, which countries have been in the news a lot this month and why? As soon as you hear and why, it's asking you for two answers. So the first answer is which countries, okay, which countries, and then the second answer is and why. And when you answer the second part of the question, you always start with because. Okay. Did you know you never ever start a sentence with because? Usually. Did you know that? Did you know that, Rara? Can you explain to Rara that when you answer or when you speak, you don't begin a sentence with because? Okay. Can you explain that to her?
Kalau misalnya pertanyaan dimulai dari who, jangan because. Yeah, she
Okay.
understands. She understands.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. One more time. Which countries have been in the news a lot this month and why?
Russia.
Russia and Ukraine have been in the news this month because they have been at war with each other.
Very good. Your fluency is amazing. Your fluency is amazing. Okay. So tell me, what are your thoughts about the war with Russia and Ukraine? What do you think about it all? What do you think?
Susah sekali bertanya.
Just try. Don't worry. Just try.
Kalau I think it's
Do you think it's what? Sorry.
I think it's
Okay. Sorry. You broke up there. I couldn't quite hear you. What did you say?
can we use scary or frightened?
Yeah, you
Want
can.
to talk about
You can
if we
use.
want to talk about the war.
Yes. Okay. So scary, frightening.
Yeah, frightening. And what others?
Right.
What others word? What other word?
Okay. You can also say something like it is tragic. Well, no, wait, not that. It's it. This is easier. It is awful. Awful. Can you say awful?
awful.
Awful. Awful. Do you know what awful means?
No.
Awful means very bad. It's like
Sangat
yeah, it's so awful. Means it's bad. You think it's really, really, really bad. Another one that's very very good word to use is, and it's related to scary. Okay, the word is terrifying. Terrifying. Terrifying.
Terrified.
That means it makes you afraid. It's a scary thing. It makes you afraid. It makes you okay. Another one that you can use also is the word dreadful. Dreadful.
Dreadful.
Okay. Okay. So you could make sentences using these words in simple ways. I think it is very. 1 minute. Let's actually make sentences for you. 1 second. Okay. So let's look at some examples here for you. I think
mengerikan, terrifying.
the war is very scary. I think the war is very scary. Can you say that for me?
I think the war is very scary.
Scary. Scary.
Scary. Scary.
Yes, I think the war is very scary. I find it is all very. I find it is all very terrifying.
I find it is all very terrifying.
Yes. So that means you think it's all very, very scary. Okay. So very scary and very terrifying. Okay. It's the same meaning, but terrifying is more scary. Terrifying is more scary. So I'm going to make it more bright for you. Terrifying is more scary. Do you understand that part? It's more scary. So you get scary, and then you get terrifying, which is even more scary. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, well done. You're so clever. Okay, then the next one we're going to look at is, I think it's frightening. Okay, another way to use it. I think it's frightening.
I think it's frightening.
Sorry, can you say that again? You broke up there. I think it's.
I think it's frightening.
Yes, I think it's frightening. Very good. Very good. Okay. Then you can say something like the war is absolutely. You can say either say I think the war is absolutely awful, or you can just say the war is absolutely awful. Absolutely means the same as very. Means the same as very. Okay. Try that one. The war.
The war is absolutely awful.
Yes. Or the war is very awful.
The war is absolutely very awful.
Okay. So you can use one or the other. You can either say the war is absolutely awful or the war is very awful. So you can choose whichever one because they mean almost the same thing. Okay. Okay. And the way you can say, you can use dreadful is, I think the war is, okay. I think the war is too dreadful.
I think the war is too dreadful.
Okay, so that's a way of saying, it means the same as saying, I think the war is very bad. I think war is very bad. Okay, cool. So I want to ask you a question, Rara. Do you think all these ways, all these words are similar or different?
I think it's different.
Okay, different, okay, but their meanings are related. So if someone asks you your view about a bad thing, you can use any of these sentences and words to answer them. Can you translate that for me, Fitri?
Misalnya orang nanya, bisa gunakan berbagai kata yang ada di sini. Okay, she understand.
Okay, so let's try quickly. What is, okay, let's start this over here. So what do you think about the war in Ukraine? What do you think about the war in Ukraine?
The war is absolutely terrifying.
Excellent. Excellent. You telling me it makes you scared. It makes you afraid. Okay. Another one. What else can you say?
I think it's dreadful.
Excellent. That means you're thinking it's so bad. It's bad, bad, bad. I think it's dreadful. Okay. Another one.
I think the war is awful.
I think the war is awful. Well done. Another way of saying bad. Very bad. Okay.